Hello, and we're live. Hello, hello, virtual teachers, VIP kid teachers, go-go kid teachers, out school teachers, and just online teacher fun. So welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy, and on this channel, I have a lot of videos about teaching online. I also have some playlists. So you can go to my playlist, see just go-go kid videos or just VIP Kid videos. And I also have a playlist for VIP Kid iPad users videos. So I have a group on Facebook that is for VIP Kid iPad users, people that use their iPads for teaching for VIP Kid. And for many of the online companies, you can't use an iPad. So VIP Kid is one of the companies that you can teach from it when with your iPad. So my group has like over 3,000 people in it. So I do refer them to my channel. And so I made a playlist for them. And there's a lot of good videos in there. There are some specific things just for iPads. And the iPad is a great backup. Like if you have a computer that you really like, but you need just a backup in case something happens, the iPad's great because you can get online really quickly. And you can't teach from the iPad with GoGo Kid, but you can teach from it for OutSchool. And when I teach for OutSchool, I don't use my iPad because I do like sharing my screen and things like that. But in a pinch, if something happens, you can use your iPad for teaching. I do a piano lesson. So if I had to do piano using my iPad, that might work if something happened to my computer. So you can get into the class, into OutSchool with your iPad if necessary. And I don't know if there's some other companies. I think Palfish you can teach from an iPad, and maybe some other conversational type classes. But definitely VIP Kid and not GoGo Kid. Now, GoGo Kid is hard because you don't have a backup. You know, you might need another computer if you needed a second device for GoGo Kid. So that's a little scary teaching without a backup, especially since I'm used to having a backup. But the big news this week is, China's new law for tutors. Now, I did see that I saw that Evelyn Joy put out a video and she read an article where China is definitely curtailing the like after school tutoring and things like that. We don't really know exactly how it's going to affect those of us who teach online. I don't think anything was specifically mentioned about that. I know that, I don't know, a month ago or so, maybe 2 months ago, I know that Teacher Tim, online teacher dude, he mentioned something in his video about he thought that it just means people in China, not necessarily the online companies, but I don't think we really know yet. So if those of you who have diversified into OutSchool, good job. At least we have that to fall back on, right? And we pivot, right? I know that Nancy Taylor taught us that a while back, that, things can happen and changes can come up and we just have to adjust. And there will be another way that we can just make things work for us if we're just creative enough, right? And I'm thankful for this country. I'm thankful for America, where we have these choices that we can make, and decisions that other people make in the, higher up community. They make decisions for us that we just have to work with, and we can adjust and pivot. So I'm thankful that I have diversified into OutSchool, although I'm not teaching a lot for OutSchool right now. It is a always there for me. So this summer, I just kind of pulled back a little bit. This past week, I just did VIP Kid only, and I do have some OutSchool classes that are ongoing. I have a first grade baby animals with math class, kind of like math games class. And then I have a knitting class, and I have a piano class. So those are the three that I'm just kind of continuing to work with. And so I've just kept up with my VIP Kid because I can be done at 9 a.m. and then I have the rest of the day for, whatever I need to do. So I really like that. During the school year, when I had some OutSchool classes during the week, it was fine, but I just really needed to take a little bit of a break from constantly working. I was getting burnt out. So yeah, I had a little burnout video that I made because when I first started teaching online, I never thought I would burn out because I enjoyed it so much. But, sometimes some people like me, we push ourselves and we just keep pushing. And then we realize, wait a second, I need to take a step back and just kind of get myself into a schedule and take a break because it's getting overwhelming. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Casey, for joining me this morning. And I'll be joining Casey again a little bit later today on her channel. We're going to be talking about OutSchool and scheduling OutSchool classes and things like that. So you can meet us over there. Hello, Luann. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Happy Saturday. And Luann says she will plan to focus more on OutSchool since hearing the news. I put it on the back burner. I was also burnt out. Yeah. And OutSchool is a little tricky because you don't know exactly what's going to get booked. VIP Kid's awesome because you just use their plan, open the times, pray that they get booked, and watch, just kind of go into. When I first started with VIP Kid, I thought, I feel like a robot, I'm just kind of like regurgitating this information. But you learn how to personalize it, you learn how to make it fun, and you just learn to rely on the curriculum and you kind of get into the zone, right? And so with OutSchool, it does take a little bit of planning. And I do love it, though. I mean, when you get the students that you really love. Hello, Danny. Thank you for coming. Awesome. Danny is teacher Danny D. She has her own channel as well. And she has her gardening channel, Happy Farms Louisiana, which is really picking up subscribers. Congratulations, Danny. And she started out as just, coming online and just talking, right? And she found that her gardening videos did really well. I just loved her video. She was coming on like almost every day. I would listen to her just chat and it was great. So I got to know Danny really well, even personally. So it's because of Danny and Evelyn that I kept going with my gardening. And I don't know if you saw my little short video about the fresh tomato, the red tomato. I went out and I had a red tomato. I was like, yay! I'm going to go out. I haven't been out this morning yet to check because we had some coldness. Last night we had major downpours of rain, thunder, lightning. That usually helps the garden, right? And so I'm anxious to find out what's out there today. I have some cucumbers growing, some zucchini, tomatoes. I do not know why I'm not getting any peppers on my pepper plants, Danny. I need some pepper plant talk. So Danny says, I'm sorry I haven't come to your chats. I'm in the garden. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So Danny says, I'm here today. Yay, tomatoes. Yay. I love tomato sandwiches. Like, I am just nutso about tomato sandwiches. I love them. And sounds like a children's book, The Red Tomato. Oh, that's a great idea, Luann. Yeah, that is great. That is a really fun thought. Making children's books all about the garden. Wow, that could be really a really cool thing. Okay, peppers are slow and they like heat, so be patient. They will be late bloomers. Okay. All right. Well, I only have a few of the plants, so I have learned a lot about gardening. It's just amazing how much we don't know about growing gardens. And it's amazing how, like, where I live, it's very like some city people, some country people. Some people are really awesome about gardening and some people have no idea. Like a lot of people that have gone to the intellectual book reader type people don't know how to grow anything. And that was me. I was so bad at it. But I'm really looking into the future as to what I want to do. I want to make some like what Evelyn has, you know, she has that nice little garden area. I want to do that in my front yard. So I've always tried to put it off to the side of my yard, but there's a lot of trees over there. And if you look at my videos from last year, you'll see where I had like a jungle in there. And I'm moving it to the front yard, and that's where everything grew better. And Danny says she likes my background. Everybody loves this background. This was just off of Amazon. I went through like hundreds of backgrounds and I chose this one. I kind of wanted a lighter color. I liked the lighter brick, and then I liked the writing on it too. Sometimes I want something a little different. I'm kind of getting to where I want a little new one, but everyone seems to like this one. So Danny says I have to learn by experiment. If I read too much how to, I get overwhelmed. So I just go for it. Basically my whole life in a nutshell. That's good. Yeah. And that's why we became online teachers, because we were adventurous. Because many of us were like, what? Teach online? Kids in China? What are you talking about? And we kind of learned just by proceeding and just taking it one day at a time. And so, yeah, with gardening, I just decided that like last year I tried to do too much and then I got nothing. I started out really good. I planted my seeds. Everything was going well. But when I put it into the garden, it didn't go well. So this time I decided I'm going to try container gardening, and I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to use good soil and follow just for a little bit. Now, I sort of wish that I had done more, but I have to go back to my original thoughts of my plan was to be just do a little bit and be successful. And so that's what I have right now. So I've gotten cucumbers, I've gotten lettuce. I've learned a lot about what they like, the type of weather they like, and how to water, those kind of things. And so I've learned about how they pollinate, how they grow, what they like, how to trellis them, you know, that kind of thing. And so you have more control with containers. Sounds perfect. Yeah. Sounds perfect. Good soil, and be intentional. Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to make some like raised beds, but I want to kind of do the same thing, like control the soil and that kind of thing. And so my thing is I know if I went out and like spent a whole bunch of money, I could do everything I want. But I'm trying to kind of be budget friendly with it, not just spend a whole bunch of money on all of the bells and whistles of gardening, but try to do things economically as well. And I like the containers because you have just enough soil for the plant. You don't have leftover soil that you're wasting. But I would like to make the raised beds like now so that they're ready for the spring. I think that's kind of a good idea, right? So, and I was thinking of reusing the soil. That's what I'm kind of looking into now. Like if you use potted soil, can you use it again for the next year? So I was thinking I could just take my soil that has the pots and I could put it into the raised bed. So you're kind of recycling that soil, add some fertilizer to it, and so it will kind of do its thing over the winter and that kind of thing. But yeah, I have no like weeds. I don't have to go out and do weeding, which is really important if you plant in a regular garden. You have to do a lot of weeding. Well, the rate with the potted plants, you don't really have to do a lot of weeding. So that saves a lot of time. If I lived in the city or suburbia, I would be doing raised beds and containers. Yes, they can sit over winter and decompose, put some sticks and leaves in the bed's bottom like Evelyn does. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do, and just thinking about it. So yeah, it looks like next year I'm actually going to be working outside the home again, and my kids are going to be going to school. So that's my big announcement. It's another school, not a school I've taught at before. It's a new one. It's kind of a new school altogether, and they need a math teacher. And math is my specialty. And so it looks like I'm going to be teaching. And if my kids enjoyed homeschool and they wanted to homeschool and our homeschool was very successful, I would choose homeschooling. But they kind of want to go to school. And so we figure we're going to try it and see how it goes. It's like 40-minute drive to the school. So that's the part I don't like. I don't like the drive. And so that's kind of a downside of the program. It's a little bit far away, but I do like people. I like to be around people, and it's a Christian school. And so we're free to, just, I feel like I'm comfortable in that environment. I can kind of not worry about what I say and things like that, according to what I believe. So and it's also a small school. So hello, Jason. So it's a small Christian school. And so they will have a smaller group of kids to work with, and they like to do sports. So we'll be able to do soccer, and the kids will love that. That is very exciting. 40 minutes is average. Could be worse. Exactly. It could be worse. And so that's what I'm planning on doing. Hopefully it all works out. The other hard thing in New Hampshire is you have the bad weather to deal with. But one of the good things is I know how to teach online. So if we have days where we have to stay home, we can either give them, in my other schools, we would do like a parent packet. They would send home homework and you would have to do it. But now I know how to do things online, which in previous years, wasn't as good at it, right? So if something happens and we're home, then we can do our classes online and continue. And, this year I'm trying to kind of prepare myself for the climate of the students, where they had a really bad, 2020, a really hard 2021 type year. And so academically, we kind of have to work our way into wherever they are, and not try to expect more or less, but to work with them where they are and try to just help them continue learning, right? VIP Kid has all really helped us in the online education. I agree. No matter what happens, we've grown, right? We've grown because of VIP Kid. We've, learned a lot through VIP Kid, and it has been an amazing experience. And I plan on keeping as much as I can my online stuff. Like my math classes on Saturday, my I can always adjust my other classes, or I can have, like, I could even do my knitting class at the school during a break time for me, or I could do it in the evening. My piano class is kind of evening anyway because they're a different time zone and they would rather have it later in the day. So I plan on keeping as much as I can of my online classes and see how it goes. I don't do the VIP kit in the evenings anymore, and I don't do Sundays. So maybe when the time change happens, I could probably do maybe one evening a week or something like that, but we'll see what happens. And maybe OutSchool will grow because more teachers will be wanting to do it and more students will hear about it. We kind of think that there's only a set number of students that might use OutSchool, but there are a lot of people that don't even know about OutSchool yet, and so the more it grows and the more the word gets out, maybe more and more students will avail themselves of the opportunity of OutSchool, right? So that's what's going on with me. I hope you guys are doing well. I wish we had more sports here in public schools. I want a swim team. All right, so Danny wants a swim team. That sounds fun. I may have to drive 45 minutes to make that happen. Yeah, that's true because your kids swim like every day, right? We have a lot of public school programs, but it's the last couple years it's been a little bit less than normal. But sports are fun. I want my kids, I like the team effort, and we usually play like other small Christian schools. So Danny says girls here have dance line, cheerleading, softball, and basketball. Oh, volleyball. Yes. The Christian schools, they do soccer for the boys and volleyball for the girls in the fall. And then they do basketball for girls and boys. And in the spring or winter time, and usually not too much in the spring. That's kind of how it goes. So Danny says she's 3 minutes behind in the video. Well, thank you for trying to keep up. I appreciate it. So we have kind of like a set amount of sports, and in the real spring it gets so busy. They've tried to do like baseball and stuff, and it just gets too crazy and everybody has too many other things to do. So we'll see how it goes. It is what it is. I love homeschooling. I believe in homeschooling. I have done it for many years. My older kids did it and they didn't really know anything else for a long time. Some of my kids graduated homeschool. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of my kids graduated from homeschool. But they always wanted to go to school. We did a lot of extra activities. They all did music. We got together with a lot of friends. We did a lot of hiking. We walked a lot of trails with friends out. We have lots of trails in our state and close by. So we did a lot of that. And they did well. I mean, we did a lot of different activities. But they always kind of wanted to go to school, maybe just because that's what all the other kids do. And so then the last 7 years I've been going to a school and teaching, and it's basically been an exchange for their education. And so I didn't really make any money. So when I worked for VIP Kid, it was awesome because I would actually get some pocket money. And so, but this year it's a little different situation where I might get paid something. So I'm kind of excited about that. So it might make up for having to do 2 jobs. So when was the last time you were at a school? So in 2020, I was at a school, and that was my 7th year teaching. So 2020, I was at a school and got shut down, sent home in March. And then we did not do school last year. We stayed home. Yeah, I worked at a school before the pandemic. But last year we did homeschool. We did like DVDs. But I had one kid went to Georgia. He went to school where my daughter lives in Georgia because she was working at a school. And then I had my daughter, Lily. She graduated. I have a video about her graduation. She actually graduated a year early. So this past year, she kind of nannied and worked and saved her money. And she's going to college in the fall. And then I had 2 kids at home, and they really didn't really like it. They wanted to be where the other kids are, like at the school and stuff. But with all the COVID masking, shutting down and all that stuff, it was just too much stress for me. And so I just said, you know what, we're going to stay home. So then last year we just did some other things. Like they did their schoolwork, but then they also did some out school classes, and they also went snowboarding. So that was the first year they ever went snowboarding. So that was kind of their PE. They did soccer in the fall, and then they did snowboarding in the winter, and they really loved that. They also got longboards, and they did skateboarding and bicycling and hiking and all that kind of stuff. So we did a lot of things, but they really would like to go to school. And this opportunity came up. I love to teach. I'm a teacher. I love school. And so we're going to try it. So Danny says, I wonder how many teachers retired from the public school system last year. Dixie's kindergarten teacher did. She was almost ready, but 2020 pushed her over the edge. Exactly. Well, I went to a school board meeting in my town, and they said that 9 people, and we have a kind of a small town, so I think 9 is a lot. 9 people resigned and 2 people retired. So that's 11 teachers. I don't know how many teachers in the whole town, but that's a lot. I would say maybe, would they have maybe 50 teachers or something? So that's a lot of teachers, 11 teachers to replace. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be really hard for them. And it is hard because, in the public schools, they have a lot more regulations that they're going to have to abide by. Where the Christian school, we have certain regulations, but there's fewer kids and there's fewer people to think about exposing to anything. So I feel more comfortable going to a smaller school. But anyway, hopefully things will work out, and through prayer and hopefully things turn around for us. And I just want to inspire kids to want to learn. I keep telling my kids, if you want to learn, you can learn anything right now. You can access any information you want. You can learn about anything you want to learn. You don't really even need a school right now. All you need is a desire to learn, and you can learn anything you want. And that is an amazing thing. Like when my grandmother was a kid, she had to stop school in 8th grade because her mother was sick and she had to help take care of her. And so she wasn't able to go to school. She didn't have all of the access to all the information that we have today. And she did read a lot. So she was a really huge reader. And so it's not like she never learned anything else, but, kids today have access to anything they want. I can fix my dryer going on YouTube. I can fix a bicycle going on YouTube. I can learn anything just about on YouTube, right? So it's just a matter of what do you want to do and just go ahead and do it. Like was mentioned earlier, books about gardening. You could write books about kids gardening. And you can read. I have books and books and books. I have so many books. I'm decluttering, and that's the hardest thing to get rid of is books. You know, you can read about anything, you can learn anything, and, you know, the sky's the limit educationally. So really, it's the desire to learn that we need to cultivate. What do the kids want to learn? And just do it. You know, if you want to learn, you can learn it. You can start a business as a young kid these days. I mean, how many stories do you see about kids that just get involved in something and they, you know, go for it? So you're right, learn from anywhere about anything, but you need that inspiration. So I think that's the biggest thing right now is inspiring kids to want to learn and just go for it. Just do it. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Don't worry about, you know, nobody else has done it before. You just do your passion and you will be successful in this country. And that's why I love this country so much. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go because I have a class and I have to see my little first graders and talk about baby animals and play math games. And I love it. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for your support. And I will see you next time. Thank you, Danny, for coming. And thank you for all your comments. It's great to see you. And yes, it's very Montessori and it's very American, right? Just do it. Just do what you love and you will be successful. And look at Danny. You love gardening and your channel is just getting subscribers left and right? She like over like 4,000 subscribers. Excellent work. So thank you guys for coming and I will see you next time. Goodbye.